listening to the Construction Big Breakfast, where we give you a hearty serving of insider tips and business strategies to help fuel your day so you can thrive in the construction industry.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Ben Pritchard, and welcome to the Construction Big Breakfast. Today we'll be diving into the world of Salesforce, talking a little bit about a recent event, Salesforce World Tour in London, and just talking about the importance of that front end and how technology can enable you to do it better. Joining me for today's podcast, we've got two special guests. One you'll recognise as occasional host Aidan, and for the very first time we welcome Lydia. Welcome to the podcast, both of you. Can you give the listeners a quick little introduction, please?
Yeah, hello, my name is Lydia. So I am Salesforce admin at Invennt, and we had a chance to be in one of the biggest events in the world of Salesforce. It was amazing, and we will talk about this a bit, me and Aidan. Yeah.
Aidan?
Yeah, I'm Aidan, and I'm the business development lead at Invennt. So I spend most of my day using the Salesforce platform.
Fantastic. So, you both know well, because you watch all of our podcasts, I'm sure, that the first question any guests, internal or external, are asked is, what did you have for breakfast? So go on, who's going first?
Go on, Lydia.
I'm fasting, so I didn't have anything for yeah.
And at least that's a good excuse for not having breakfast. What about you, Aidan?
I'm afraid with as we were talking about off air, I've got a rather big event coming up next week, getting married, so I'm eating approximately 4 calories a day in the lead up to it.
So no breakfast for you.
So
either.
No breakfast for me either, just black coffee. Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't have any breakfast either, but my excuse was I had a big. I went out for dinner last night and I ate so much I've physically not been able to eat yet today. So what a rubbish start to the podcast. No breakfast for anyone. No breakfast for anyone. Anyway, let's get on to more interesting matters. So Lydia, as you sort of said, and we talked about in the intro, you both recently attended the Salesforce World Tour, which I think was the first one in London for a couple of years, sort of obviously because of COVID and what have you. But like you say, Lydia, it's a massive event, isn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing, massive, really exciting. Actually, we had lots of different speeches talking about new releases that we have in Salesforce. So we have this 3 times a year, every year. So we have new updates coming. It is automatic for everybody, and so we could go ahead with some information about these new releases, how it is working nowadays, and they also spoke about data quality, as we know that's really, really important, and we have lots of benefits from this. We use this a lot at Invennt already, so it's a nice practice. And as much as we do in this way, it's nice to have. So about future as well, how artificial intelligence can help business as well, and Salesforce is one big example like this. And yeah, I think we had lots of different ways. We had some information about Trailhead, the platform that we can use as a user, also as an admin as well. So we have the new releases in there. We can practice, we can learn, we can just have Salesforce hands-on orgs as well. And after all, apply this on our real Invennt Salesforce.
So, Aidan, we know that Lydia loves Salesforce and could talk about Salesforce all day. But did you enjoy yourself at the World Tour?
I did. It's quite an interesting event because, I mean, look, Salesforce obviously know what they're doing, but the way they convey their messages by getting their customers to explain how they use it, and it's a really, really clever way of doing things, because you get to see exactly how other people are using it and the benefits they're getting from it. And I think it's something we could definitely learn from. So rather than us telling everyone, what it is we do and how we do it, actually trying to get customers in front of prospects and generate business that way.
And I don't suppose any of the customers at Walter were from the construction industry.
It's fair to say it was fairly light on the ground in that world. But that's an opportunity in itself, isn't it? That, CRM systems, I would say in the contracting world, a little bit more widely adopted, whereas when you then step into the consultancy side of the industry and engineering consultancies and architects and things like that, it's relatively unheard of.
I mean, for you, Aidan, first, what is your sort of top benefit, do you think, for us Invennt and for organizations generally using a platform like Salesforce?
Well, and this is something that Tim actually taught me at the start. He says there's three types of capital in a business. So you've got capital, which is your money. You've got human capital, so your employees, and then you have social capital, and that's your network. And the key point is that they are fungible, so you can turn one into the other. Now, the human and the normal capital are fairly easy to track, but tracking that social capital without a CRM system is very, very difficult, or nearly impossible, at least in a way where you can actually use that and manipulate that information. So using a CRM system, you can record those people that you have relationships with. You can have companies that you work with. You can have companies that you want to target. You can have the people within those businesses. You can track where they move. And then you can start developing those relationships over time. So if someone leaves within your business, you don't lose that relationship with that company. But I mean, we could, with something like Salesforce, we could, there's so many different aspects to it. It's kind of, you could be talking all day.
You could do, and we've only got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we need to focus in on the real nuggets of gold that we have experienced ourselves and helping our network use. I mean, Lydia, for you, I mean, you're still early in your Salesforce journey, and you're sort of learning more and more every week through your apprenticeship program. What was the thing that drew you to Salesforce in the first place?
Actually, I think it's more about how the owners and directors can have a real picture of what is happening inside the company, and then have different, let's say, tips through this to go ahead with the clients, with new strategies for sales, Aidan, and how we can maybe have new clients understanding how they work, the profile of each of them, where we are winning more, and where maybe we can lose some stuff, and we can go in different paths to go ahead with bigger and better revenue, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's a great tool. We've been using it for the sort of 7-8 years I've been at Invennt, but how we use it has changed, evolved and improved dramatically. I mean, it's amazing. Like you say, we call Salesforce a CRM tool, but it's so much more, isn't it? I mean, it's an ecosystem. I think the most important thing, and I know something that Aidan with like our business development accelerator and things like that, it's not just about the tool, it's how you use it and the culture you create around using it that is equally as important, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's, at Invennt, everyone has a user license and everyone uses it virtually on a daily basis. And that means that the reporting that we get through is live. So, I know I mentioned earlier, it's about accounts and contacts, which are companies and people, but then you start bringing in leads and opportunities, tracking them through to delivery, and then adding different pieces of Salesforce into that. So whether that's email marketing tools, whether it's live dashboards, whether it's, some of our guys are using Tableau, aren't they? Which is, part of the Salesforce ecosystem, which is data visualization, which You know, it's still to do with the delivering and winning of work, but it's just elevating what we're doing.
Yeah, and with Tableau, you know, we're really sort of trying to get all the insights out of our data that we can. I mean, you know, Salesforce is a massive repository of data for us.
Yeah.
And data that is a lot cleaner now than it was 6 months ago, thanks to your work, Lydia. But data that we're getting real insights into understanding, you know, what markets and accounts should we target, how and what our potential opportunities for growth are, how people are interacting with us. You know, it is a great tool for creating and collecting data. But what you do with that is far more important.
Yeah. I would also just say, I mean, we recently did a commission with a company who thought they had a problem with converting sales. And actually, when we pulled their data set, put it into Tableau, started to visualize it, that actually wasn't their problem. They actually had a really good conversion rate within their sales. They're converting about 1 in 3, which we would say in our industry is optimal, because it means we haven't got too much of a lumpy pipeline. So actually what we needed to help them do was generate more leads at the start. That was really what they needed. They needed more coming through from the top of funnel rather than converting more and converting at 1 in 2 or a higher than that rate.
So at World Tour, as well as sort of giving everyone a good sort of viewpoint of how people are using Salesforce, it's always been a great place for seeing a little bit of the what next. You know, I remember being in one 4 or 5 years ago when Einstein being rolled out a little bit and seeing sort of the really cool things that that AI enabled platform in Salesforce was up to. Was there anything for you, Lydia, that stood out as sort of being really exciting and that you're going to try and persuade all of us to buy?
We always have, actually, especially because of these new releases of Salesforce. But yeah, I think we are in a good way with our users, just using as much as we can and giving them the tools through reports, through dashboards, and all that we can use to have the best from Salesforce, like Aidan, you say, to help not only sales, but the operations as well, as we use this a lot. And yeah, so just we have lots of new stuff coming on, and I am with my eyes. I was checking this yesterday again because we always have this in new ways to be able to update as much as we can inside the organization. Yeah.
I mean, Aidan, you're not allowed to say Slack, but other than that,
No.
You can say Slack if you want. But what tool did you sort of see, or what sort of advancement in the pipeline for Salesforce that got you sort of really excited about the potential in the coming years?
Yeah, I mean, the big changes that I saw, so as part of Sales Cloud, there is a high velocity sales tool, which is basically a sales engagement tool. So it helps you generate cadences and email sequences, track them, but they've now brought in things like call recording, so that when you go on you host a meeting with someone, it kind of transcribes what's happened in that meeting into your opportunity automatically. It also can listen in for particular buzzwords. So if if it's fee or I don't know, a standard objection that you get, it will listen into that. And whilst in a business of our size, it might not be hugely useful, it is useful when we hand over to operations. But if you imagine that scaling to a business with hundreds of salespeople and you start to get data points on that, it can be quite a powerful tool.
If we think about the application of this in construction specifically, you know, email marketing and things like that, it's not probably felt as a conventional way of creating leads in the industry. Is that unfair on the power of email marketing and the tools that we have, or is that just the way of the project orientated one-off nature of construction? It's hard to make it work.
I mean, I yeah, look, email marketing definitely has a reputation. But what I would say, I mean, even just email tracking, like it's not widely used, and the way that can impact your decision making is huge. You know, if you've sent a quote to someone for a project, they haven't even opened your email. How are you then feeling about reporting that to your seniors, whoever it is? You know, do you think you're still in there? If someone's opened it 10 or 15 times, well then that, yeah, something's going on there. It's probably been forwarded, or you know, something's going on behind the scenes, and you can start to go, okay, right, I think, yeah, we might have a chance here. We might be in on something. I mean, they might just be comparing a quote against someone else's. You don't, but the chances are
there's engagement. That's the important thing.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
you're better informed as to how to follow up.
Yeah.
And it's those insights that can sort of turbocharge and boost what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
unless you sort of go slightly maybe inappropriate and phone them up straight away and go, "I see you've just opened my email. What did you think?"
Yeah.
Not the way to make friends.
No. But you know, when it comes back to sending emails out, you know, one of the best and most effective ways of cleaning our database of contacts is by sending an email out and seeing where people have moved from and to. And then that's a new opportunity. You don't know where they might have gone. So cleaning your system up and finding where people have moved to can uncover all sorts. We find we get far more value out of the bounce backs than we do the actual replies. But
sometimes the replies are good as well, though. Yeah, I think you know, the one thing that, like you said earlier, you know, that social capital. I mean, so much of what is good in construction is built around the people in construction.
Yeah.
You know, great teams, great projects, and it's important to have tools and the opportunity to build on that. And a CRM system is perfect for that. Perfect for understanding. You know, we might not have worked together, but a colleague of mine might work with you, and our CRM system will be able to tell me, you know, you definitely, you know, if you've got any problems with Salesforce, Lydia's the person, because she loves it, absolutely loves it.
But there's so much technology being used in the delivery of projects, but why is it not being used to win projects?
Well, you know, it's a bit of a dirty word in construction at times, isn't it? You know, unless it's a proper old school tender, you know, we don't go knocking on doors to find out what's coming next, which is, you know, an important part of lead creation, understanding what your potential pipeline is. There's nothing wrong with that. You're helping everyone by doing that.
Exactly. Keeping everyone in a job.
Exactly. So we've actually sort of, you know, almost finished our 20 minutes. So if we have, you know, if anyone who's listening maybe doesn't have a CRM system, or has recently purchased Salesforce, or, you know, if we were the BBC, alternative products available, what would be your one sort of suggested, you know, where should someone start with something like a Salesforce or a CRM system? Aidan, do you want to go first?
Where do you start? I mean, if you haven't got one, and I was saying this to someone this week, the very first thing you need to do is get the companies that you work with, your existing customers, in there, and get the people you work with within those businesses uploaded and as a contact within there. That's the first job. The next bit, in terms of uploading opportunities and things like that, can come, but really how CRM started was it's a contact database.
Yeah, relationship management.
Yeah.
And Lydia, what do you think is the most important thing to set up a Salesforce org properly first time?
Yeah, so it is for sure about contacts and all the information that we have, actually as much as we have from our customers. And then when we have this base, just organizing.
Oh, it's bad timing on the
and everything for security, for everything, and then we can have a real picture of who is our customer, who are our clients, and yeah, I think it's in this way to start.
Right, fantastic. On that note, let's wrap up the conversation. It was insightful. Thank you both for joining me today. For any of our listeners who are more interested in understanding our Salesforce journey, or maybe how we can help you sort of accelerate your front end through the implementation of digital products, just go to www.invennt.com, click and fill out our contact form, and I'm sure Aidan will be in touch. And Lydia's big smile will tell you all about how wonderful Salesforce is in person. To all our listeners today, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Construction Big Breakfast. We've got a new episode every week or two, so do click that subscribe button and turn your notifications on so that you don't miss an episode. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please do leave a review. Any comments, any thoughts on the subject matter, please do let us know. And if you're interested in being a guest, again, go to our website and fill out the contact form, and one of our team will be in touch. So guys, thank you very much for today. Hope you enjoy lunch.
Thank you.
None of us had any breakfast, and we'll talk to you all soon.
See ya.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Construction Big Breakfast. Make sure to visit our website, www.inventt.com, where you can subscribe to the Construction Big Breakfast on all platforms, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a positive rating. Or if you'd simply share it with a friend, that would help us out too. Be sure to tune in for our next episode.